Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. We are looking forward to introducing you to Oro Group and the vibrant ecosystem that we have built. This is a pre-placement session with Oro Group, a dynamic ecosystem driving innovation through our diverse portfolio of companies. At Oro Venture Studio, we nurture ventures that span across industries from cutting-edge tech and AI to wellness and education. Our portfolio includes trailblazers like Oro Digital, Oro Liquid, and Oracle, alongside game changers in finance like Oro Token Quest and Oro Investment Management System, that is IMS. We are also proud of ventures like Oro.edu, Oro Talent, Oro AI, Shabd, Idol Development, and Oro Yoga, each creating impact in their unique domains. Whether you are passionate about technology, finance, education, or wellness, Oro Group offers opportunities to grow, learn, and make a real difference. Let's dive into what makes Oro Group an exciting place to build your future. Over the next few minutes, we are going to give you a sneak peek into Oro Group, who we are, what we do, and most importantly, how you can be part of a team. Quick heads up about the Q&A at the end. If you have any questions throughout the session, feel free to drop them in the live chat. At the end of the session, we will be picking up few questions or all the questions from the chat and answering them. We want to make sure you get all the answers you need. So please don't hesitate to ask. At Oro Group, we are all about energy, speed, and growth. We don't just build companies, we create ecosystems where ideas thrive, innovations grow, and people make a real impact. Every day here brings fresh challenges, new learning opportunities, and the chance to contribute to something bigger than ourselves. Our founders are visionaries who constantly push boundaries, inspire teams to think beyond the conventional. With a diverse portfolio spanning from cutting edge tech and finance to wellness and education, we are always on the move, embracing change and driving progress. We are looking for people who thrive on challenges, stay adaptable, and can move quickly in a constantly evolving environment. If you are ready to take on meaningful projects, grow alongside visionary leaders, and shape the future with us, Oro Group is the place for you. We are excited to introduce the visionary behind Oro Group, on one of our founders and president, Mr. Amar Anand Singh. His leadership and passion have been the driving force behind everything we have achieved so far. We are grateful to have him here today with us to share his insights and exciting journey ahead. Amar sir, thank you for joining us today. It's a privilege to have you with us.
Thanks, Ritu. Thanks for the very kind introduction. So maybe just to get an orientation of who we have with us today. So which colleges are on?
Okay. So we have IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati, D.Y. Patil Institute of Management and Research, and Vikas College of Engineering and Technology.
Got it, got it. And I think if I'm not mistaken, from IIT Guwahati, we also have their MBA school, like the graduate school, right? Because I got a call from Mayank prior to this requesting that they could join as well. So
Yes.
are the coordinators on the line as well?
No, sir, they are not the line with us. They're joining via YouTube live video.
Got it, got it. Okay. But I think that is the case because I just spoke with Mayank shortly before this. Okay, great. So, well, let's kick it off. So, hi everyone, great to meet you. As Ritu said, I'm the founder of the Oro Group. Just a quick background on myself. So, I grew up in India, between Chandigarh, Delhi, Karnal. Father was in the IS, so just moved around quite a bit. Went to St. Stephen's for my economics, and then was at the London School of Economics for my master's, and then at Stanford Business School. Started my career back in '99 at McKinsey and Company in New York. Working with the largest financial institutions, and then followed one of my clients, which was Citibank, to the M&A committee of Citibank in New York, was responsible for running Citi's balance sheet, which was about $2 trillion, the largest balance sheet by far in the world. Did that for about 5 years, from 2002 to 2007. Did my first startup in 2007. We were lucky to be selected as the top 50 startups in the US. There's a presentation on my LinkedIn, if you go, or on Google, which was from Stanford. It's always on, where the top 50 presentations were documented. So I say that because it was the first cohort of Web 2.0 companies. So the other CEOs were Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, CEO of LinkedIn, CEO of Twitter, CEO of Yelp. So at that time, they were just complete unknowns, and so was I for that matter. But how sort of history unfolded after that was that, one of the biggest things at that time was to get into private equity that was, raising billions of dollars and buying out these billion-dollar companies. And so that was kind of the hardest thing to do at the time. So I got an offer from one of the largest private equity firms to join and head up Asia for them. And they were excited by the venture that we built. So we ended up exiting that at not the greatest price. And then many years later, I found that my colleagues from that pitch had become the founders of the largest companies in the world. And frankly, after the financial crisis in 2008, the center of gravity in America moved from New York to the Bay Area, where these large tech giants basically took over leadership of America and generally innovation in the world. And so it was always in the back of my mind that we missed this great opportunity to create change, to create leadership, to create unicorns. And so as I move forward in my career, so after private equity, the hardest thing was to basically be a hedge fund manager. And maybe some of you have seen the series called Billions on Netflix. It is actually quite similar to what the life of a hedge fund manager is. So I was lucky to be part of the founding team of one of the largest hedge funds in the US, called Lone Pine. We started a fund called Taiwan Capital, and with some luck and some good investing, raised that to one of the largest funds in Asia, about $8 billion at peak. And we did some phenomenal investments, everything from Uber to Palantir to on the private side, so it was both private and public, to Alibaba, Tencent, in India, all of the majors, so Snapdeal, Gardeco, 1MG, which was on the free charge, then in Indonesia, Tokopedia, and also on the public side, which was actually much bigger than the private side. We were the largest holders, for example, in IndusInd Bank. After the Hindujas, we were the largest investor, the largest investor in Domino's Pizza, et cetera, et cetera. So, did that, still do that. But I think in 2017, really got bitten by call it the Elon Musk bug, for the lack of a better word right now. He's a maligned word right now because of all of the crazy stuff he's done with Doge and some of the missteps that his buddy Trump has taken on how he's defined reciprocal tariffs, which, I'm an economist by training. This doesn't make any sense. But otherwise, Elon Musk is a super smart guy, at least when it comes to entrepreneurship. And really, I think he did create a bit of a structural shift in the world, where I think he changed the model of where the smartest people in the world were going, away from sort of hedge funds and private equity and financial engineering investing, to actually building stuff and trying to create change and help society through that. So I was quite passionate about this idea of building unicorns from the bottom up. So in 2017, we spun off Oroville, which was a venture studio where we, in addition to investing in other companies, we're also building companies internally. And we now have a portfolio, about 15 companies over time. And the big themes right now that spread across that portfolio are AI and blockchain. Those are two sort of horizontals, if you like. And then, we have lots of different verticals, from fintech to health tech to, to robo-advisors to ed tech, etc. So we have quite a lot of opportunities across these companies. Oro Digital is another marquee holding, where we have a great team. We actually have the ex CIO of BlackRock, the largest company in the world. Its market capitalization, its assets under management, I should say, are 3 times the size of, 10 times the size of India's GDP. So he's the chairman of Oro Digital. We have a couple of really strong VCs on the board. Kanwal Rekhi, who's the founder of TIE, one of India's first entrepreneur to go public on the NASDAQ. His firm is invested in that one. And we're doing some great things there. So generally quite excited about the portfolio we have. You're sort of at the cutting edge of innovation and disruption in each of these companies. We've also had the good fortune of, as I said, I've born brought up in India, so we've been hiring from top Indian colleges for over a decade. I'd say especially at the IITs, a special fondness for that, because we've had a long relationship, but now, generally open to, talent anywhere in any college in India. And so, we have a set of exciting opportunities both on the internship side. I don't know why Mayank is calling me from Guwahati. Ritu, you might want to check in with him. I don't know if he can hear us or whatever. But he just tried to call me, so just maybe see what he wants. But so we have some great opportunities both on the internship side. So that would be, I guess, second and third years, and then full time after you finish your fourth year, and that's just for undergrad. For the MBAs again, very happy, and as you can see, there are opportunities on the investment side, on the business analyst side, on the sales side, business development. So welcome to the graduates as well to apply both for internships and full-time positions. So with that, I'll pause here, see if there are any questions at this point. Otherwise, we'll turn to the prepared part of this presentation, where we share with you some stories from alumni of ours, people who are currently working in our company, folks like yourself who joined us in the past, and how their experiences have been. And then we also have some of the other leadership team of Oro, people like Martin Whitehead, who heads up Oro.edu. He's a PhD in behavioral economics from the London School of Economics and was my classmate at Stanford Business School. We have Charles, who is the CEO of one of the biggest equity research companies in the US, who's on the Oro Token Quest side. So you'll hear from a number of business leaders, and then there'll be room for a Q&A at the end as well.
Okay, sir. There are a few questions. I'll share them one by one, and you can answer them.
Sure.
So Vivek Kumar is asking, is there an AI ML internship available?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot in the AI ML space. We actually have, we were actually, even because we can't wait for the summer, we're actually hiring somebody as we speak on that. So yes, there is such position available. So actually, Ritu, maybe it's an oversight. So I know we have a blockchain position, but we should have an AI ML specified position as well. So if we don't have one right now, we should create it, because you'll hear some comments in the prepared remarks. So as I said, AI is one of the horizontals. So we're doing a fair amount of interesting work, from everything in, obviously just like, AI chatbots, but more interestingly, recommendation engines for companies to be able to, embed AI in, customer acquisition and customer retention. We have AI IVR and call center type applications that we run. And then we also use AI predictive models in, for example, on the investment side. So, we predict the prices of fiat and digital assets. For that, we use models like, GANs, WGANs, LSTMs, and then some of the latest innovations on the transformer side. So yeah, I think that's very much an area of interest.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Another one is by Shrinkla Mehta and Vivek Wiki. Same question: is there an investment banking internship available?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it investment banking, and I think at this age or stage, you may not even know what you mean by investment banking. It's sort of this term that's thrown out loosely by people. Um, so let me define what investment banking is. Investment banking is actually quite a narrow role, which is actually more of a sell side job. It actually has nothing to do with investing. A lot of people don't understand that. So investment banking is really, a role that's played on the sell side, typically by advisors who help you opine on the valuation of an asset. So that's typically done by M&A advisors within an investment bank, or help you underwrite a placement of a security. So that could be a primary placement like an IPO, or it could be a secondary offering, which is a QIP, a qualified institutional placement. So that's a very specific and narrow role. I think what you might have meant by the question is, is there an internship that deals with the investing side? And yes, there is. So we have, I believe, investment analyst role, and there you are kind of looking at, it from more of the buy side. Like, if I was to invest in Tesla right now, it's fallen 50% from its peak, literally like 6 months ago, because of the backlash against Trump for his mismanagement of Doge, and generally the Trump tariffs reception in places like Canada, where they've just banned um, uh, Tesla, and also Tesla was actually relying on a lot of uh, government subsidies for the EV, which the governments are not happy to make anymore because they're not charging them tariffs. So for example, is Tesla interesting at this price point? Run like AI models to try and predict the price or come up with trading strategies to invest in digital. By digital, I mean like that could be crypto, and by fiat, I mean just stocks and bonds. So yes, there are those opportunities available.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another one is very interesting. Shivi is asking, what is the meaning of Oro?
Yeah. So that one is a bit close to my heart. It's a bit sentimental as well. But I mean, the short answer is oro is the Latin word for dawn or gold. So basically, in Latin, auro, is dawn or gold. But where we get it from is the Auroville ashram in Pondicherry. So that is very close to Chennai. And my maternal grandfather was one of the thought architects of that ashram. It's sort of a United Nations designated city. It enjoys some special status. It's very cosmopolitan. You have a lot of European people. You have a lot of people from all over the world, and there's a lot of innovation and sharing and co-innovation, and people sort of, live together in a very interesting way. So I've gone there many a summer with my parents and grandparents. So Oro came from.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That's very interesting to know. Even I didn't know that. Last question by Ayan Mondal. What does a full stack developer do currently in your company as an intern?
Stack obviously by definition has elements of the back end and the front end. So a full stack developer looks at tasks on both sides. So on the back end, typically our applications tend to be in Python and Node.js. And on the front end, they tend to be in React.js and in Flutter if it's on the mobile app side. And then obviously HTML, CSS. So yeah, it's sort of a multi-faceted role. It is one of the more demanding roles because it requires you to know languages on both sides. And you get especially those kind of tasks that have a front end element and a back end element. You obviously sometimes work with dedicated back-end developers and dedicated front developers when you're doing those tasks. But it is quite it's one of the more challenging roles as an intern because you need to, it's a short learning curve, and you need to maybe have some understanding of both sides before you come in, and then obviously you learn on the job. But yeah, definitely an exciting opportunity that we have.
Okay, sir. I think one more last question. Vivek Vicky is asking, is there any PPO opportunity?
Post-placement offer, right? What is
Yes, sir.
PPO?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. No, of course. I mean, there's definitely an opportunity, and not only that, I'd say that that's part of the exercise. Like, we, especially on the internship side, we enjoy getting to know you guys, but it's reciprocal. You get a chance to get to know us, and then, it's much easier for us to extend full-time offers after you graduate. Somebody who's already worked and is well known and generally well liked in the team. So yeah, that's very much part of the incentive to do an internship.
Okay, sir. I think these are the questions.
Great,
Okay. So we are moving ahead with the rest of the content.
great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay, so before we get started, we would like to mention that the next part of the session is a pre-recorded video. While we are on a tight schedule, our goal is to provide you with a clear and engaging overview of Oro Group and the dynamic culture that defines us. We really want your full attention, so please take this time to focus and learn about what we are all about. So let's get started.
Our teammates from a couple of ventures. So, Oro Digital, the first one, as you can see, is based in the US. It's one of our flagship ventures. It's the new name for a NASDAQ-listed company where we acquired the OMS BMS company called Diginex, which was a trading software platform. We've since built that out to be one of the largest infrastructure players within blockchain. So it's connected to about 105 centralized exchanges, about 120 DEXs, all the large OTC desks, and many of the large qualified custodians around the world. We've got two of our colleagues, Aditya and Navas from Oro Digital, who will also talk about their own experience from that. The IMS is an investment management system that is actually been moved from the US. It's now headquartered in Luxembourg. It's a marketplace for asset managers to raise capital. AIML is that's artificial intelligence machine learning platform to create a suite of prediction models for digital assets. So it's everything from GANs, WHANs, LSTMs, transformer models, where we essentially predict the price of digital assets and also invest in them. Oro.edu is another flagship venture. It has essentially disrupted the education space by creating a fully native AI app that curates a customized curriculum for students, everyone from class 11 upwards to professionals. And it also has a powerful learn to earn model where we're focused on a big problem in India, which is that a lot of the engineering colleges are half empty, and even the folks that are enrolled have less than half of the class actually finds a job after they graduate. Less of a problem in IIT, though we've actually seen that same phenomenon play out in the IITs as well, to a lesser extent. So we've got two of our colleagues from Oro.edu, Nikhil and Shresh, with us as well to talk about their experience. I'll run through the others pretty quickly. The idea is just to give you a flavor of all of the types of innovation that's happening within the Oro Group. So Oro.ai is a robo-advisor. So it's a fintech asset manager. Ideal Development is a co-innovation and co-working company. Oro Yoga is a health tech company. Shop.in is one of India's leading content publishing and book publishing companies. Oro Bridge is a German company that is one of the first to issue fully licensed tokens that tokenize real estate infrastructure and green bonds in Europe. Oro Bet is a betting platform, which is a prediction market for real world events like who wins the US election, for example. Oro Sui Clear is a JV with Sui, which is a spin-off from Facebook or Meta, as they now call it. Oracle is a venture where we essentially have a very deep data lake of pricing of various types of assets that we provide to various protocols. Oro Dex and Oro Liquid are our proprietary DEX aggregator, where we basically have algorithms that are able to get the best price from multiple liquidity pools. And the last point is that the ones in all caps are Web3, and the ones in non all caps are basically Web2 projects. And so as you can see, AI and blockchain sort of run prominently across all of these companies. So with that, I'll pause and pass the mic on to Oro Digital. So Aditya and Abaz, whoever wants to kick off, and both of them are senior team members of ours now, who joined us right out of college and can share their experience. We also have one of the CEOs of one of our ventures called the Oro IMS on the line. Charlie, are you there?
I am. Nice to meet everyone. I can just give a little background on myself. Is that what you like, Mark?
Yeah.
So Charlie Phippen, I'm here outside of New York City, in the state of Connecticut, actually. So welcome, everyone. Really happy to see everyone on the call, and it's exciting to talk to such a great group. My background is I have about 25 years in finance. So I've worked at big firms like Goldman Sachs, UBS, BNP Paribas as a trader, and then moved more into management and running businesses. So I just was running as the CEO of a firm called Water Tower Research. And now we're working with Amar, and we're looking to expand that business as well. So nice to meet everyone.
Hi guys, I'm Aditya and I graduated from IIT Delhi in 2023. My major was in mechanical engineering. And since then, I'm a full stack developer at Oro Digital, where I contribute to both backend front-end system, as well as I am responsible for managing the CI/CD pipelines as well. So let me tell you about briefly what our day-to-day looks like. So for front-end development, we ensure that our platforms are user-friendly and visually appealing by building intuitive and responsive interfaces. We work extensively with React.js, TypeScript to create seamless user experience. And we also have a significant focus on performance optimizations as well, because in order to remove the UI latency as much as possible so that our clients can use our tools effortlessly. On the backend side, we develop robust APIs mostly using Python, and we work closely with databases like Redis and Postgres to implement efficient data storage and retrieval mechanisms. And for CI/CD pipelines, we mostly work with Ansible, GitHub Actions, and Docker to design CI/CD pipelines that automate testing and development, as well as the monitoring procedures. So yeah, handing over to Nawaz, he can guide you more on the backend side.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm Nawaz Zafar. I'm a Python developer in Oro Digital. So the product that we are building is OEMS, which is Order and Execution Management System. So a brief background on me. So I'm also a 2023 graduate me and Aditya were in the same batch, and we got selected for Oro Digital, and it has been a great experience as we got to learn a lot about algorithmic trading and how the system works, and um, how like crypto is redefining the future, as we say. And we are building as we are creating the future. So that's pretty interesting. We are not as we are creating new innovative solutions in the backend space. So the backend stack is mostly Python based, uh, where we have a lot of different Docker containers which manages different services. So we have balances, we have algorithm execution, we have exchange management, and we have everything in between. And we also have a very interesting decentralized integrations as well. So yeah, overall my experience in Oro Digital has been very great. I got to learn a lot here. So over to you, Anasa.
Yep, thanks, Sabaz. So maybe we can now move to Shrey, who can talk about his experience at Oro.edu.
Yeah. Okay. So hi guys, I'm Shresh Jaiswal and I'm working at Oro.edu. So Oro.edu is basically the edtech side of Oro, and we are creating this platform for upskilling, and I'm working here as a product manager. So if you have seen the app of Oro.edu, I have designed it completely. So with Oro.edu, we are trying to achieve, to create a platform for everyone who wants to learn, and as well as uh, uh, connect with the jobs, internships, freelance opportunities. So in a way, we are trying to fill the gaps between learn to earn, because you have seen like people in the market, they are learning from various platforms. Some they are learning from YouTube and everything, but learning is just the first step, right? So after learning, you need to connect with the right opportunities as well. So with that goal in mind, I started working already. So before that, like I have 6, 7 years of experience. I passed out in 2018. So initially, I was working in edtech sector of like K-12. So we were building a product for JEE, NEET, and those exams. So I have myself cleared those exams. So I started with that journey. So, but like from last 2 years, I have been working in this upskilling sector. So for mostly college students and professionals. So the very good thing about Oro.edu is we are trying to use the latest technology like AI, as you have seen. Like AI is it has gotten so much power now. So we are leveraging AI in Oro.edu and trying to build a platform where where AI can assist you in a way which is so personalized, and it knows everything about you, and can help you at every step. So Oro.edu is not just about learning. AI is along the way, and it will help you with doubt solving, revision, and it will create you custom courses. Like if you give a exam and you see you have some weak concepts, so it will create you a custom course just for those weak concepts, dedicated for you, personalized. And also we have built this engagement on our Oro.edu app, because learning is just one part. Engagement is something where you actually explore the other side of learning. So the whole app is gamified and fully infused. So you can connect with other people, you can talk to experts in chat rooms, and there's e-money Oro coin system in the app. So in a way, this app is, a whole platform what we need at this time, because there are so many platforms. But all what it is something, it starts with the learning part, and then tutoring, mastering, and then at the end it's the earning. So we are connecting learning to earn. So we are not just uh, a platform which I would say you just go and start a course and learn and finish. So at the end, you will get the opportunities freelance or full-time and internship and everything. So that's what we are trying to build in Oro.edu. So in the future, like if you're gonna have any doubts related to product, not just the learning part, but any doubt related to the product, like any feature, anything, you can ask me in this meeting. Yeah. So now handing over to Nikhil, who's our backend developer.
Hello. So I'm Nikhil. I passed out in 2016 and have been working for Oro.edu for last 8 months. So the backend architecture of Oro.edu is mostly based on Python and Flask. There are multiple microservices, and the middleware is in Node.js Express. For databases, we sometimes use Mongo, but mostly we use MySQL. And yeah, so for our Gen AI needs, sometimes we use ChatGPT, but most of the time we rely on Gaia.net, which is an uh, open source Gen AI platform where anyone can upload their own models and they can host their own nodes, right? And for some ML-based tasks, we are using BERT and other models. So in the backend, I would say we use multiple tools based on their usage. So whatever the requirement is, we pick the best suitable tool and then we start using it. That's all for backend. Over to Omar.
Great, thanks, Nikhil. Okay, so you've now heard from quite a few IIT alums who are currently part of our team. We have several, as I said, been working with IITs for over a decade, most closely with Delhi, because that's just close to our one of our data science centers, but with all of the IITs as well. Okay, so with that, we'll break into Q&A in case there are any questions.
Hello, sir. My name is Akash Bhartwaj. I'm from IIT Chennai. I was a placement coordinator and as well as a student over here. I'm tech student. And my question was like, there are a lot of products that you have just discussed about. EdTech product is the product based on Web3 and Web2. So how does the ideation process goes on for all these products? So in the initial phase.
How does the what process? Sorry, the what process?
Ideation process.
Ideation. Yeah. No, that's a critical part of because we're at the very early stage. So we're at sort of, I mean, the projects start sort of pre-seed, and we typically come in at the pre-seed level. So it's all about ideation. And so what happens is that it's called a venture studio for a reason, as opposed to an incubator or an accelerator. You probably have heard all of these, and I know there are accelerators at IIT as well. So a venture studio, the difference is that in a venture studio, you are kind of not only incubating, but you're also building from within. So what we tend to do is we leverage extensively our own networks of people. And so a lot of the initial ideas and initial founders come from within the network, as opposed to just, meeting somebody who you don't know at all, and then sort of just investing in their project. So that's the nuance between a venture studio and an incubator. So the template is that 25 years, and have done that across most probably the US, China, and India, but then also across Western Europe and Asia, Greater Asia. So Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Australia. So have seen a lot of the investment teams that have started early on in the US. So if you look at the e-commerce team, we've invested in that globally. So we invested early on in eBay and Amazon. And then when the biggest opportunity in e-commerce moved to China, we invested in Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu. And then finally, when the opportunity moved to India, we were part of the biggest cash burn war ever seen in internet history, which was between Flipkart, Snapdeal, Shopclues, Paytm, and Amazon. And so my point is that we've seen a lot of these investment themes play out globally, and we kind of know the pattern, and what has been successful and what can be successful going forward. Of course, the past is not always a predictor of the future, but there's quite a lot of investment acumen because of that in the team. And that's just not myself. There are others who've been part of that journey with me. And so when we ideate in the venture studio, we have a pretty good handle on what we think is a powerful idea, and we tend to first invest in it ourselves. So we seed all of these companies ourselves, and then we allow other external investors to come in. So, for example, in Aditya and Nawaz's company, Oro Digital, we now have two prominent VCs from Silicon Valley, Inventors Capital and Silicon Valley Quad, who've come in and done the subsequent round.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the question. Thank you. All right, any other questions?
Yes, sir, requesting you to please describe the blockchain developer role.
Yeah, sure. So Nawaz, I'll allow you to come in as well, but let me kick it off. So, the languages that we tend to code in most frequently are obviously Solidity and then Rust. But we're also, given the partnership that we have with Sui, which is the Meta Facebook spinoff, that is all done in a language called Move. And then, we're also actually now actively looking for Golang developers as well. So within the blockchain space, those are the four sort of prominent languages that we code in. And then, in fact, one of our hires from IIT, Rohit, who joined us from IIT Delhi, has done some fantastic work in that area. So we built this very cool aggregator, which is a bit like Jupyter, which is a DEX aggregator on Solana, which is valued over $1 billion. So that just focuses on 8 to 10 DEXs within within the Solana ecosystem. We've been able to extend that to a number of other blockchains, both EVM and non-EVM. So that's an example of somebody like yourself, coming in and kind of building, with Oro and leveraging all of the contacts that we can bring to bear, the resources that we can bring to bear from the entire ecosystem. So every time we build in the space, we have the benefit of partnering with the blockchains themselves, with the L1s and the L2s. We know many of the founders well. We sometimes get grants from them as well to help us build and innovate. So yeah, that's a very exciting opportunity here.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions?
What will be the steps of hiring process?
So hiring process is reasonably kind of structured. So maybe sometimes 2 rounds of exams, and then we filter it down to the interview stage. And then at the interview stage, you have a few senior folks from the team meet with the candidate and assess fit, and then we just extend an offer. So this year alone, we've already extended 10 offers across the IITs, and are looking to make some additional hires coming days.
So, sir, for all the roles that are being present over at Oro. So is the hiring process same, or is it different for every kind of role, basically? Like there is back-end role, front-end roles.
It similar structure that I defined is very similar. Of course, the exams that you're giving can be quite different. So if you're applying for a back-end role, you'll get back-end front-end. If applying for front-end, you get front-end blockchain, so on and so forth.
Okay, sir.
Great. So if there's no further questions, we'll leave it there. So thanks for the current and to yeah. So Martin and I actually went to Stanford Business School together, and just had a really great life experience in terms of the education we received. And so we were very passionate to do something together in the field of education, and we really thought that the current education system is broken. Now, of course, you guys are the lucky few who are going to really good colleges, but frankly, even in the colleges you go to, even in the IITs, about 50% of people who graduate really struggle to find a job after graduation. And out of those who do, many of the employers find that the skills that the students come in with are not well suited for the skills they need on the job. And so a lot of time gets spent in reskilling and training the students to get them up to that level. The education system is also a bit outdated. That's our belief. So it's a World War II education system that basically industrializes the process and batches students together by age and through a very rigid framework where you have to very early on in your life choose one stream, and then you're pretty much stuck on that stream for the rest of your life. We believe that especially now with the advent of AI and a lot of tasks getting commoditized, what's far more important is to engender real learning, a real training of the mind, have a multidisciplinary capability set that allows you to get things done in the real world, rather than a siloed sort of education system that teaches you, sometimes quite often just to answer, questions via rote, or trains you more to be conscientious and do certain types of homeworks and and then do well on the exams. It doesn't really teach you to be productive in the workplace. And actually, India is a glaring example. So there's a very important paper written by the World Bank about India, where the title is "Where Did All the Education Go?" Because from independence to now, India has massively increased its literacy rate. As you know, certain states like Kerala have 100% literacy rate. And if education was actually leading to greater productivity, we would have seen a massive increase in per capita incomes in India. And so there's been very little correlation actually between higher literacy and higher productivity growth. Per capita incomes in India are still stuck in, Africa type levels, at your, $2,000-3,000 per annum. Whereas at the levels of, if education had actually delivered the productivity growth that we thought initially that it does, we would have been far further than we are now. So anyway, that's just one inspiration that we had to create Oro.edu, which is kind of this alternative way of learning where it's multidisciplinary, it's age heterogeneous, and it's really about teaching you skills and then providing you a job on the back of that. So yeah, wanted to share one of the ventures and the story behind it. We have a few, but also happy to go back to taking questions. Oh, I think there was a question about the product management role. So yeah, I think Abhishek said it. Clearly, it's not something that requires any coding knowledge per se, but it is a role that will, um, sit between the coding team, so the front end team, the back end team, the cloud management team, and it does require you to interface with all of the commercial team, the sales team. So with all of the teams, as you spec out a particular idea and bring it to life. So the ability to interact with coders, to speak the language, to understand some of the jargon, is helpful. I mean, it is something you could learn on the job as well. But I guess those folks who have some understanding of some of the jargon that is involved when you're talking with back end team, and understanding what a cloud is, how servers are set up, understanding what CI/CD processes, just at a very high level. So at least you're able to design products by taking into account all of those factors.
Can I just add to Amar's comments there, which I think are very pertinent and hopefully helpful to the group. As Amar said, we met at Stanford. We both got a very deep passion to try to bridge this gap. And it's a gap that both Amar's seen and myself have seen in our work during our consulting days. I was a partner at PwC. We used to recruit graduates every year. And I saw this in real time. We had very smart people coming through with good degrees, but that gap with us being able to deploy them immediately and to get the usage, if you like, get them to in front of clients, there was a gap. And I think that's been increasing for the reasons that Amar has said. So that's where we see Oro.edu come in to try and help talented individuals like yourselves to bridge that gap. The universities and the colleges are really good at helping you to think and to how to think about a problem, but that application is a little bit limited, and it's not just anecdotal evidence now. There's real evidence coming from this, both from the academic world and from talking to clients in the way Amar said. So that's what we're trying to do. And the other aspect I just wanted to stress is that in what we're doing through Oro.edu, it's quite rigorous. There will be examinations, not to be too worried about, but we feel that also helps bridge a gap, which is that there has been, in some cases around the world, there's been inflation in some of the gradings, and you cannot always tell who really knows stuff from if there's been an awful lot of people sort of getting similar grades, whereas we feel that's not as realistic as it could be. So the examination side of things, we feel will help people have a credential that when they get a certificate with us, they're definitely able to pass. That will augment what they have in terms of their educational qualification. We see that is not just we're not just embedding the skills in people. We're having sort of proof, if you like, that they get a certificate, and we think the two of those go together will really be something that will help the youngsters, the talented individuals that we know are out there, bridge that gap and get the employment that we want them to get at the moment some of them are missing out on. I just wanted to stress.
Just to add to that. Yeah. And Martin also has a PhD in behavioral economics, and one of the things that we really drill down on is what we call our 2 Sigma approach. So the parent company of EDU is actually called Oro 2 Sigma, and the 2 Sigma approach is that there's a lot of scientific research that's been done to show that if you can add mastery learning, which is what Martin was sort of referencing, where if students are not allowed to go on to the next next year or next chapter without having at least some mastery of the fundamentals that have been taught in the prior chapter, then that really learning out. In fact, it helps by 1 standard deviation. And the other is if you can have some individualized tutoring, then that helps by another standard deviation. Now that was obviously very expensive to do, and the schooling system only achieves that to some degree. But now we've been able to leverage AI to provide individual tutors for every student. And so together we've been able to achieve a 2 sigma improvement in learning outcomes.
Now that you have got a sense of who we are, I would like to share that Oro Group is currently hiring for internships. If you're looking to take the next step in your career or want to gain valuable experience with a fast growing company, we have several exciting positions available. We are hiring for product management intern, business and investment analyst intern, blog developer intern, front end developer intern, back end developer intern, full stack developer intern, digital marketing intern, sales intern, video animator intern, UI and UX designer intern. So what's the hiring process be like? Let me walk you through it. First, we will kick things off with resume shortlisting. This is where we take a look at your resume to get a feel for your background, your experience, and what you bring to the table. Next comes the round two. Next comes the 2-round assessment process. The first round is an aptitude test where we will assess your problem solving and analytical abilities. Then the second round is a technical assessment. This one focuses more on testing your technical skills and understanding of your field. If you do well on both assessments, we will move to the personal interview. This is where we get to know you better, your motivations, your approach to work, and how you fit with our team and culture. Now let's talk about the internship details. The internship will be of 8 weeks long, and we are flexible based on your availability. This opportunity is ideal for second and third year students who are eager to gain hands-on experience, explore their interests, and build a strong foundation for their future careers. The exciting part, if you perform well during your internship, there's a great opportunity to convert that into a full-time role. Of course, the CTC for the full-time role will depend on the job description and your performance, but we are looking for people who can grow with us long-term. So if any of this sounds like the perfect fit for you, we would love to see your application. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the live. So for the Q&A, please go ahead and write your questions in the live chat. Mention your name, your college, and your question. I will answer them one by one. Okay, so Ayan Mondal have asked, how much development does a person have to be known to get an internship in the Oro Digital? Okay, so the basic level has to be right. You need to have a good command over the theory and little bit of practice. And rest, curiosity and hunger for learning. That is all we are seeking. Rima Saha is asking what we can expect as a business and investment intern. Okay. So we are looking for somebody who has keen eye and interest in investment and financial world. Also have a great and high emotional IQ. Analytical skills. Yes, that's what we are looking for. Somebody who can do great market research and create business cases excellent communication and presentation skills. Okay, Ayush Agarwal, what are the expectations of Oro Group from an intern? We are expecting some people who are curious, who want to learn, who want to grow, who can contribute. So that's our expectations. Okay, Ayush, IIT Guwahati. Yes, thank you. Do we have more questions? I'll take two more questions. It's already 7. I think there are no more questions regarding to the hiring and other related roles. So we are concluding the session for today. Thank you for joining us and we wish you all the best. Thank you.